Good morning, student. This is the first part of the chapter Poverty as a Challenge, class 9th, subject Social Science. In this chapter, student, we will address the issue of poverty and we will try to understand the seriousness of this problem called poverty. We will also try to understand that why it is considered that poverty is one of the most difficult problem of our country ever since India has attained independence. You can say that ever since country has attained independence, every single government over the last 70 years made effort to get rid of poverty, get rid of this problem, but unfortunately this task could not be completed by any of the government. We will try to analyze what are those reasons that we are not successful to remove the poverty from the country. In this chapter also we will try to understand the trend of poverty in India as well as in the world, and in which we will understand that how poverty line help us to measure the poverty. I will explain you what is poverty line in the chapter whenever we will be moving to that particular section. Student, also we would like to understand that we will try to analyze what are the causes of poverty in our country India, and then in the another section we will discuss what efforts are being made by the government, like poverty alleviation program. You can understand that government both at the center level and at the state level has made some efforts, so we shall be discussing about that also. So let us begin from the chapter called Poverty as a Challenge. Before we move to the chapter Poverty as a Challenge, student, let us define what is poverty or who can be said poor. So a simple definition what should be in your mind, that if any person who is unable to earn good enough earning or source of livelihood for himself and for his family or for her family, then that person can be said a poor person, that family can be said poor family, and this entire concept is called poverty. I am repeating this definition: if any person is unable to earn sufficient amount to fulfill his family requirement, his family's basic requirement, that is food, clothing, shelter, as well as safe drinking water and sanitation for his family, along with the education and medical care, student, then the person is said to be poor and his family is a poor family, and this entire concept is called poverty. This is one aspect, student. Now question is that what can be included in the poverty. If you will move both the part of India, that is rural and urban part, you will find that basically landless rural laborers in the village area are very poor, or those farmer who are having a small land holding, they can be also considered poor. In the urban area you will find people living in slums area. You will find that rag pickers, daily wage workers, or those people who do not have a regular source of earning, or you can say that child labor, because children are compelled to work only in a condition when there is not enough resources for their own survival. They are unable to go to school, rather they choose to make some money for the survival purpose or to assist their family. These are the criteria, and you can identify that certain section of the society is considered to be poor. Your book has mentioned, student, on the page number 29, that India has presently, as per the data of 2011-12, 270 million people considered to be living below poverty line. 270 million means 27 crore. You can say our population is more than 100 crore, so it is, this data is approximately 1/4 of our total population, means every fourth person in the country is living below poverty line. Now you can understand the magnitude of this problem. One more thing I would like to explain you here, what is not given in your textbook, but I think that you must understand that in terms of percentage, student, we have reduced the poverty over the last 70 years. How it can be explain. Let me try to give you some data. When country attained independence in 1947, our population was 36 crore approximately, and at that time, in terms of percentage, student, our half of the population, it means our 50% of the population was living below poverty line. So if you calculate the number of poor at that time, it was approximately 18 crore, half of the 36 crore. And today our population is more than 100 crore. Our one fourth, means only 25% of the population in terms of percentage, are living below poverty line. So you can say in terms of percentage we have reduced the poverty, but does it means that we have actually reduced the poverty? Now 25% of our present population is around 27 crore as per your textbook. It means number of poor person has increased ever since India has achieved independence, and this is why this is a serious challenge. This is why this challenge need to be addressed, and you must understand that how it has become a factor of uh, stopping our economic development, how it is a factor of leading to various other problem, various other dimensions of the poverty that we shall discuss in the coming part of this chapter, student. So I hope the point is clear that in terms of percentage our poverty line, our poverty has reduced, but in terms of people, number of people, it has increased. Not going far ahead like 20-30 year ago, only 3-4 year ago the same textbook was mentioning poverty number was 260 million or 26 crore. Go to the early publication of this NCERT book, 2016-17. It is mentioned there that there was 260 million people living below poverty line. It means over the period of 3-4 year, now poverty has, number of poor has increased by 10 million. Approximately 1 crore more people have been added in the list of poverty. So you can say that number of poor has actually increased. In your next part, it is mentioned also that it is in the world largest single concentration of the poor people in the world. No other part of the world you would find such a huge amount of poverty existing, and you can say that the number of poor people that is mentioned 27 crore or 270 million is more than the population of many countries in the world. This is why, student, we need to address the issue. We need to understand the seriousness and magnitude of the problem of poverty. To have better understanding, your book has taken two examples on page number 29 and page number 30 from the two area of India. One the rural area and other the urban area. Your first example is from the urban area, student. Take the two typical cases of poverty. I would suggest you read it yourself from the textbook, but I am explaining just a little portion. That there is a person, Ram Saran, who lives in one of the state of Jharkhand. The city is Ranchi. What is mentioned? His earning is 1500 rupees per month, student. Now you can easily guess what this 1500 rupees means in the modern times. I don't think you can purchase a piece of, you can purchase your all school books, or you can purchase a single piece of a single cloth for you even with this amount of 1500 rupees. This is not a very good amount. Out of this 1500, what is interesting that his family has 6 member in the city, that is he, his wife and 4 children, student, from the age group of 12 to 1. I don't think what is written, I don't know, 12 year to 6 month, student. And he has 2 parents and one younger brother living in the village area Ramgarh, and Hazaribagh is the area where his brother is living, and all these 3 people are dependent. So now 1500 rupees salary where 9 people are dependent on him. His wife also work as a maid and make 800 rupees per month. So she add 800 rupees in the earning of the family. He do not live in his own house, he lives in the rented house, which is also not in a very good condition, student. Then there is another problem, for because this 2300 rupees including the earning of Ram Saran and his wife is not good enough. His elder son, who is 12-year-old, used to go to the tea shop and make some money, that is only 300 rupees. Now what you can expect, another daughter who take care of the younger siblings in the house. She is not doing anything, she is not going to school because going to school is like a luxury. They do not have enough clothes. Their children are facing the situation of malnourishment, but problem is they cannot go to the doctor. Reason, there is not good enough resources for the family to go to the doctor. And it is mentioned that shoes is the luxury in the family. They have shoes is the shoes is luxury, doesn't mean they have expensive shoes. It means that they do not have shoes at all, only they have two pair of clothes. It means at a time they wear one cloth and let other to get washed and dry for changing it. It means they don't have the luxury at all. That is the level of poverty existing in urban area. Now move to another story of Lakha Singh in the village area. But before I move ahead, student, there is a picture showing you 3.2 story of Ram Saran. Look what Ram Saran is continuously thinking. It is going on is in the mind of Ram Saran that after paying house rent, no money is left for the old parent in the village. This is a problem he is thinking about, how he will send village money to the parents in the village area. And there is another thing that the girl is thinking about. Anmol, you came so late. Bhaiya has gone for work without food. Means there is another problem that food is also not there. So the child has gone to tea shop to work over there. This itself is showing that what a terrible life condition is there for this person. Moving to another case, that is called rural case. And in rural case, student, there is a story of Lakha Singh that is given on page number 30. Lakha Singh is living in the village area. He is a landless laborer, so he depends on the wages and he is at the mercy of the big landlords, those who can offer him some work opportunity. But the work opportunity is erratic, means not regular. Sometime he used to get the work. The day he get the work, he is being paid 50 rupees, if not rupees, in kind of some wheat or some vegetables. That is given, which is again not good enough for the survival of his family. Again, he has 8 member in the family. His situation is also very poor and he live in the kacha house. As per this textbook, kacha house means not made of the brick and cement, rather made of some clay and some other materials that people living in the village area are quite aware of, I hope so. And or you must have seen in the life about the slum area where people live in the temporary settlement, kacha house. Then there is his wife is not working, so she do not contribute in terms of money, but she contribute the resources of fuel, that is she collect the firewood from the village area. There is another health issue. Father has died already due to the tuberculosis problem, TB patient. Mother is now having TB patient. Mother is also TB patient, means she is also tuberculosis and she is slowly and slowly going to die. That because she cannot be provided proper medical assistance by this Lakha Singh because of his level of poverty or no attainment. Now, due to this, Lakha himself never went to school and nor he has any capacity to make sure that his children attain the education. That is the terrible condition of these Ram Saran and Lakha Singh living in the urban and village area, student. Based on this, we can say that nature of the problem is really serious, student. Based on this, sorry, what I wanted to say, that on the same page there are some dimensions of poverty is shown over here, that if such thing exists, there comes in the mind of these people who are living below poverty line is called helplessness. They are wanting definitely to improve their situation, but they are not in a state to get something that can help them to achieve a growth over there. Now, you can find that common symptoms of poverty are landlessness. It will be very easy to find out that there are in the village area or even in the urban area, they don't have access to the land. Most of the poor who are living into the state of poverty they don't have access to or ownership of the piece of land that can help them to achieve or make some earning. Second is high level of unemployment. Either they are partially unemployed or they are openly unemployed. And in case, I mean to say partially unemployment means, I explained you in the previous chapter also, that partially unemployment simply means when they are getting work to a limited potential of them, they are not utilizing their full potential. Sometimes they get work, sometimes they are outside of their work. Now student, another issue is also mentioned in your textbook, that the size of family. Very common reason of all these families to remain poor is that they have a large size of family. You will find that rich do not produce as many children, educated people don't produce as many children, but this is a general tendency among the poor that they produce more children. The more uneducation means more number of children, and more number of children with limited resources means more poverty to be existing, and there will be a state of things like children will not be able to go to school, children will remain malnourished because of the lack of proper nutritious food, because of the lack of proper health care being provided to them. Then it is mentioned that if such situation exists, poor health and malnutrition exists, child labor is another issue that come naturally, because if a child do not have opportunity to go to school and his parents are not able to earn good enough, he is compelled to do some work. So child labor is another problem what exists in our country. And last is, I already explained you, there always remains a sense of helplessness among these people, that they want to do a lot but they are unable to achieve these things. Moving ahead student, on page number, again there is a picture student, 3.2, you read it yourself. I hope that you can understand with the stories that what the continuously going on. They are thinking about, would I ever be able to buy new clothes for my family? This Lakha Singh is thinking about the kind of misery he has. He is not expecting his family to have new clothes for the survival or maintaining the standard of the family. On the next page student, moving to next page, page number 31, we are going to find out that due to this problem of poverty, there are various causes or various dimensions exist. I'm sorry, it is not causes, it is the dimensions, multi dimensions of poverty. In the beginning of chapter I said poverty is not a single problem, it is multi-dimensional in the nature, because wherever there will be poverty, few problems are likely to be there. Let us address one by one. Number one, poverty will let you to the lack of food and lack of shelter. It is not expected from a poor to live in a very good state of housing or very good fulfillment of the food requirement. Hunger and lack of shelter is going to be one of the problem. Then there will be another problem, that these family are unable to send their children to school. I already address you, this will be the common problem. When there is not enough resources to fulfill their food requirement or health requirement, where is the case of the going to school for the family, children in the family? If such things exist, child labor is likely to be there. Sick people cannot be getting the proper medical attention, or proper medical care will not be provided within the family. Then it is also mentioned that they will not have access to the sanitation or clean drinking water. You must have seen people living in the slum area. How you can expect them to have a toilet or drinking water facility available to them? This is going to be another problem. All are because of one factor, that is poverty. Poverty is called multidimensional because one problem leads to so many problems that we are going through. And in the last section it is mentioned that these people are less likely to have a regular job. Most of the time they will struggle to get a job and attain a regular source of livelihood. To get a kind of job security is a big deal for them, what most of them are not having. And last part student, because of all these problems existing with poverty, you will feel that every family which remains under the situation of poverty has the sense of helplessness, because they are finding themselves that there is no solution to their problem. That's how, student, we are completing this section. In the next section we will address other issues, especially how social scientists take the issue of poverty, and we will continue to move with the remaining section in the section of this chapter in the coming videos. Thank you, student.